Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini-episode, today we're going to look at a couple of stories. One, with basically the search for extraterrestrial life once more being searched for by scientists using radio telescopes, and another, apparently, in this town, people have seen a mountain lion, and it's been, making quite the stir. Either way, we'll start off with this article here, exploring alien civilizations through high-energy emissions. Let's get into this first article, folks, and learn, all about it. What new methods can be developed in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence? This is what a recent white paper hopes to address as a pair of researchers from the Breakthrough Listen Project and Michigan State University discussed how high-energy astronomy could be used for identifying radio signals from an extraterrestrial technological civilization, also called technosignatures. This study has the potential to help SETI and other organizations develop novel techniques for finding intelligent life beyond Earth, Universe Today reports. For the white paper, the researchers evaluated why high-energy astronomy, which involves celestial objects emitting cosmic rays, gamma rays, and X-rays, could be used by SETI for identifying technosignatures, noting how its use has grown in recent years. Additionally, they discovered the potential sources of high-energy emissions, including neutrinos, X-rays, cosmic rays, gamma rays, pulsar, wind nebulae, neutron stars, black holes, solar flares, and gamma ray bursts, GRBs. Regarding how this contributes to specifically identifying technosignatures, the researchers note how high-energy signals could be indicative of a form of communication, industry, and habitat. For communication, high-energy signals could be indicative of a technosignature since high-energy signals are often needed to send large amounts of data. So it could very well be very beneficial for this all to happen, folks. Perhaps by basically understanding this celestial phenomena, we can identify which is indicative of an actual alien species trying to communicate, folks. It sounds very likely to me. For industry, high-energy signals could be indicative of specific activities including rockets, reactors, nuclear energy, accelerators, or even Dyson spheres and star engines, with the last two being far beyond Earth's technological capabilities. For habitat, high-energy signals could be indicative of life on the surface of neutron stars that survive from nuclear energy and the radiation that neutron stars emit. Finally, the researchers discussed next steps for integrating high-energy astronomy into SETI, including using machine learning, searching X-ray images, neutrino bursts, and gamma-ray observations. The study notes high-energy SETI, by and large, must be a commercial effort for the foreseeable future. Dedicated programs will only be feasible after much further investigation. At this stage, our efforts will be like those of the early radio and optical SETI pioneers who developed methods and infrastructure that took decades to grow into the robust subfield it is today. An even more basic reason for commercial studies is the difficulty in building optics for some kind of radiation because we cannot make neutrino lenses. Every neutrino detector is sensitive to large sky areas, making it a commercial SETI facility. The driving force behind SETI is the SETI Institute, which was founded in 1984 with the goal of scanning the heavens for signals that could indicate intelligent life beyond Earth. Now, it's always nice to hear an update on the SETI's Institute for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligent Life, folks. It's always nice to hear about that. Now, do you think that SETI is on, the mark here and that they will be able to find evidence of life? Perhaps. Either way, folks, we don't know for sure because we don't know if alien life would use the same technology as we do. So, maybe, maybe not. Either way, let's continue with the article. While no definitive signals have been identified, arguably the closest humanity has come to receiving a signal from another world that occurred 7 years before the SETI Institute was founded. This was quickly known as the WOW signal, which was a radio signal that lasted over 1 minute and was received by the Big Air Radio Telescope at Ohio State University. This signal was so powerful that the Discovering Astronomy intern, Jerry Ehrman, wrote the word WOW across the data readout. Despite repeated attempts, the astronomers at Big Air were unable to identify the same signal again, and a signal of this strength and length has yet to be identified since then. As the search for technosignatures continues, this white paper demonstrates how SETI could enhance and adapt its techniques for identifying intelligent life beyond Earth, specifically using methods that perhaps once seemed unnecessary or unreliable. So it looks like all the effort that they're putting into it, folks, is yielding results. So it's good to hear, folks. Either way, let's finish off this article now. Since traditional techniques of searching for radio signals on specific frequencies have shown zero results, perhaps high-energy astronomy could open the door for helping astronomers better understand the universe aside from searching for technosignatures. How will high-energy astrophysics help astronomers identify technosignatures in the coming years and decades? Only time will tell. Indeed, folks, only in the coming years and decades will we know if this aim yields any real results. But either way, folks, I think they are onto something. And it could lead to maybe us actually discovering alien beings out in space and prove we are not alone in the universe. But either way, folks, let's move on to the next article. Rochester mountain lion, folks. Not kidding, there appears to be a legit video of a mountain lion walking a residential street in Rochester, New York in the early hours of, July 10th, 2025. Usually these videos are questionable in veracity, but in this case you can see the animal is large since it passes behind the tree, so we can fairly judge the size. It's not unheard of for a puma to travel from the west through Canada and into the eastern U.S. bypassing the Mississippi, but it is rare to see, or it could be an escaped domestically kept puma. There have been no reports of this, however. People from the area are saying that other sightings have been reported to police and that the animal has escaped being cornered. First reported via Ring Neighbors and Facebook, the homeowner reported to the news station. It's currently the top story in Rochester again. I'm leaning towards this being a legit big cat, but stay tuned. Unfortunately, odds are this will not end well for the cat if it's indeed real. I can only hope that this cat does survive, folks. I hope the police and, animal control are able to basically, take out this cat without killing it and basically release it back into its home territory. But, folks, it could very well be maybe it's a domestically kept cat, so maybe it should go to a wild animal sanctuary where it can be among its own kind, hopefully, folks. Because if it's put into the wild and it is a domestically kept cat, maybe that's not the best idea. All I can say is I hope that this cat will be all right and the authorities are able to properly take care of it. Either way, folks, let's continue with this story. Unfortunately, these stories come with a ton of jerks making idiotic comments or posting their own hot take videos. The real story is whether this is a real puma roaming the area and where it came from. Let's read this part 2 of this article, folks, and you can hear all about day 2 of mountain lion mania in Rochester. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. Check out the video at this link. There's a video of a man who basically saw the mountain lion, folks. I didn't include the video because it's just him describing what he saw. Either way, it was very interesting because he indeed saw it and scared the heck out of him and others. But the article continues with his story for a little bit more. This guy is hilarious. Even the reporter and anchor can't help but react as people love to be on TV. Anyway, the new news is that this seems to be showing signs of a social panic where people are going to report seeing the creature when they are seeing something else instead. While wildlife officials in New York State, they think that this is a puma cougar mountain lion, they stated that due to its location, it's more likely to be a domestically held escapee and not a wild cat traveling to that area, but that's just playing the odds. What's really critical is people are claiming to see it, but there seems to be no additional evidence, no video or photos, no reports of attacks on small animals, no scat. That's a bit weird. We can all play guessing games. We always have mass speculation events when these sorts of things happen. Remember, the 2023 lion in Berlin, Germany? Even the experts said an unclear photo of something in a wooded area was a lion. Police claimed to hear it, but it was a wild boar, no lion. We all make mistakes, yet the video that sparked it all is intriguing. Was it someone's pet? Did it find its way back to the owner? It's really tough to keep such an animal secured in an urban area. This news story is all anyone is talking about in this part of New York. Attached to every link on socials is a parade of people saying that they know that pumas are in the Northeast. In 2011, a transient animal was killed in Connecticut that was traced back to a population in South Dakota, 1,500 miles away. But note that it didn't survive. It wasn't breeding. It's not implausible that transients make it here on occasion or that people's pets get out. How can we forget the 2021 neighborhood tiger in Houston again? Really obvious. Luckily, it was caught and surrendered to have a safer life. But folks, we're at the end, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions or the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me, make sure you're still subscribed, leave some comments down below, hit that bell for notifications, hit the part of the bell that will give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so until then folks, bye.